Hello everyone, today I want to show you the process of how I made this art piece, so let's get started. So one thing to note is that the same creature that I'm making for this video is a similar creature that I created earlier on, so you'll see me reference this picture often when I'm making it throughout the video. So if you see just flashes of this picture throughout it, that's just me looking at it for reference. Okay, so what I first do is make a new Photoshop folder that's 17 by 11 because that's a pretty nice poster size. So, yeah. And then I start off with just a normal layer to essentially just draw out the shape of the creature I want through just a paint tool. So, yeah. And like I said, is a similar creature to the one I've made before, so it still has that weird demonic face. And I wanted to make it kind of skeletal and whatnot, so yeah. Right now I'm having issues with that foot. I've just been kind of messing around with it, see what would look best. So yeah, and then after that, like right here, I'm changing the proportions just to make it more lean and skeletal. And you could do this just by copying the layer and duplicating it, and then changing the size and erasing underneath it. So yeah. Now I am coloring in the creature just to have a basic moderate shape. The color is actually pure black, but I'm making it slightly translucent so I have more control over the shape, over the color. So yeah, that's that. Now I'm adding some shadows just to get a basic idea of light source and whatnot. Now I'm just kind of messing around with background color because I kind of want to make this a kind of dark and gloomy picture similar to the other one with like just bright reds, because that kind of helps with the theme of this creature. It's like supposed to be like a vampire alien demon thing. So yeah. Okay, now I'm adding more highlights, just add more ridges on the brow, just add more depth to the creature. And as you'll see, the layers increase a lot as I go on, just because there's so many layers in order to make a in-depth piece like this, similar to that like painting. I kind of use Photoshop similar to how I paint, so now I'm adding a lot of details, just little ridges to add a texture to the piece. I find that like just texture really helps make a piece come to life, just because like you could see like how the creature would feel. It really just helps. So right now I kind of want to make it not necessarily scaly, but kind of just bumpy and rough. So yeah, adding those little weird ridge on his nose. Adding more shadows on the ridge, and making the eyes lighter just to make her tense. You saw there I made the corner of the eye green, and it's like a dull green. I also do the same thing with the mouth later on because it's very non-human color, even though it's pretty earthy color, but it kind of makes that show how inhuman the creature is. Adding wrinkles on his face now. Oh, here's the mouth. Yeah, I want to make it kind of a big gaping maw, and the eyes kind of like a cut on the other side, just to make it like skeletal and almost like, not sure if it's like undead or just a different creature. Working on the ears. Working on the ridges of the ears. The ridges are similar structure to the brow of the creature, just to add a similarity. Adding more highlights just to make it pop out a little more. Just a little more details. The more details you add in something, usually the better it turns out. Now to make the horns, I use the pen tool just because you get that straight point at the end, which is really helpful. And duplicating it and making it darker for the second one in the back. Now I'm adding red lights around the eye, just because I want the eye to have a really intense glow. So anything that the light would hit would have to have a little, any wrinkle would just hit it and make it look more realistic, essentially. The teeth, I had a similar process to making as the horns, just using the pen tool and then shading it, and now just duplicating it over and over again, blurring them a little. And there's the green gums, similar to the green corner of the eye. Very sharp, scary teeth. Adding some shadows on it to add more depth. And now I'm making these weird, clear fang things with like a little red vein in the center of them. It kind of looks like something that would be able to like suck out blood or whatever. Adding some ridges in the tendons on the neck. And now add some highlights and more of the red highlights from the eye. And now for the rib cage, humans have 12 on each side, but like the 12th one's always just on the back, so that's why if you count these, there's 11 ribs on each side. So there are 11 pairs. Now adding a little texture to it to make it kind of bony-like. That's why they're all dotted, and then just reduce the intensity of it. I wanted to add like a red kind of eye thing, just like below sternum, just kind of represent like a evil soul thing. I know a lot of people like say the soul's like in the heart, which would be a little higher, but it kind of fits well there because that's like there's a little dip there just below sternum and hugging between the rib cage. So I thought it fit well. If you look there, I made the muscles on the creature because he's very skinny, but I also wanted to show some kind of muscular aspect of him. So even though he's slender and skeletal, he's also has strength. Similar to the arms, you'll see, even though it's like thin arms are tight and muscular and tendons with tendons and whatnot. Add some nice texture to it. Just make it look nice. Add some more spikes on his shoulders. Make it a little more menacing. Yep. Add some elbow spikes. Now I wanted the hands, or the claws on the hands, to also have a glowing aspect similar to its eyes, just to have a more intensity of it, and like almost of it's like doing some kind of magic, essentially, which is why you'll see like kind of a glowing motion through it. And also I want the red lights from that to be a bit more intense than the other aspects, which is why the knee is a bit more red, and you'll see the arm will be too, with motion. And also adding the tail. If you look, the tail kind of just curves off the page and back around because it's supposed to be a really long tail. Add some ridges. So yeah, there's some more motion around the hand. And on all other parts of it. Add little like light dark magic speckles around it. Just make everything a little bit more intense, a little more dramatic. And now I just wanted to have a pretty cool like background, so I just added like a red lightning effect. Just to show that this creature is demonic. Fixing up the hands and adding texture to the tail. And yeah, those are all the finishing touches. And that's essentially how I made the art piece. So, hope you guys liked it. Enjoy. See you guys later.